What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So it's been about a few weeks since I made my last video, and probably longer since I made my last Division video. I'm purposefully waiting and kind of staying clear of the Division right now because, you know, season is this season 10 or season 11 is still on the way. There's going to be PTS stuff, and from time to time I take my time to jump in and see what the PTS is about. But honestly, I would prefer to just play the progression when the game comes out. Having done many PTSs, I guess sometimes PTS fatigue can actually hit. But right now, that's not necessarily my focus. My focus is to check in on the community. I've been keeping an ear to the ground, and UBisoft Forward is actually coming. And for me, the only thing that I'm looking forward to is actually seeing a possible Division 3 reveal of some kind. Now, Heartland is the game that's going to be coming next. I know some people are excited for Heartland. In my case, I don't know. I'm a little indifferent in a sense. Whether or not we get Heartland, that doesn't really matter. I'll play it. It's a Division game. I'm, in a sense, looking forward to it. But it doesn't seem like, in my mind anyways, it's going to hit home like a Division game. A Division game provides the ecosystem of a full-fledged game with a lot of support. And I know talking about a new Division game seems insane. It seems crazy because everybody will make the argument at any time, even I myself, that the Division 2 could still be built upon as a franchise. Maybe they might follow the legacy of sunsetting content because our old console generation might not be able to take on heavy DLC and heavy expansions afterwards. But it's not impossible. But I don't think I like the idea of, also sunsetting content as well. I mean, and Ubisoft is not really a big, player in that realm anyways. They still have the Division 1 running live if you want to go ahead and play the game on their servers. The game is still available to play. If you have your progression that was already there, that progression still stays. All your DLC is still available. So it's not necessarily Ubisoft style. And I'm glad that that's the case. But ideally, I think Ubisoft is in a position where they've stayed very quiet for the past few months regarding a lot of their games. As of now, there's a lot more buzz and talk about their Assassin's Creed franchise, which is somehow largely, a huge portion of their fan base in terms of all of their overall games. I mean, if you want to think about the Tom Clancy side of things, it seems somebody or whoever made the decisions from the top brass did not necessarily envision how their plans would go. I shouldn't say they botched everything. You can't really see the future. You can't see all of it. And even some of the different things that they actually planned in terms of using the Tom Clancy name for did not seem to pan out. You guys remember Ghost Recon Frontline, right? That has already been taken off the table. It's not going to happen according to the last report that I saw. And even some of us were thinking it'll probably come back, but it doesn't seem likely that, that game's going to be coming back. And then Tom Clancy's X-Defiant got its name tweaked a little bit to X-Defiant. So it seems like they're probably going to work their way back to getting the authentic Tom Clancy experiences back in place. And so I'm thinking that Ubisoft Forward is going to be holding a much bigger surprise than many people realize. I remember even for some of their reveals in the past, they've showcased some things that we didn't even, envision coming into play, like Avatar. But at this stage, I think this Ubisoft Forward is designed to be really big. Because if you look at a lot of the video game companies, that are doing their thing, they seem to be having a very strong Q4 in the making. Warner Brothers seems to have a solid Q4 with their Hogwarts Legacy game. Q4 into Q1 of next year. It was supposed to be both Q4, but Hogwarts Legacy got pushed back because of possible, constraints of the old generation consoles. But that was a very strong Q4 for them. If you even look at, say, like Sony is having some sort of a fun Q4 coming up, especially when you consider Ragnarok. And I'm sure you're probably not thinking, but Miles Morales coming out on PC is going to generate renewed interest in that game. And then potentially, when you look at, say, their new Spider-Man 2 game that they're going to be marketing, it seems like it's going to piggyback off of that, because there are rumors right now going that there's going to be a possible Spider-Man showcase for the Spider-Man 2 game. So it makes a whole lot of sense, because Marvel Spider-Man came out in August and they promised Miles Morales coming out sometime later this year. I'm guessing November. So in October, we're probably going to be seeing something of that sort. And if we don't see it, they'll wait till after Ragnarok so that Miles Morales does not put its shine over God of War Ragnarok. I think that's probably the plan. And then you have some of their other games coming to PC. So Sony has a very large footprint on the calendar. And I'm thinking that Ubisoft is probably going to be in a sense, responding to all of these different video game releases and announcements by coming down with something really big. But the big question in my mind is if there's going to be another big, huge, major Division franchise, or even something crazier that I'm looking forward to. I almost said a Division Star Wars game. Well, I guess that's what you can call it, because it's a Star Wars game being made by a studio that has made the Division 1 and 2 as their primary game. And that's the Star Wars that's being worked on by Ubisoft Massive. We may see a glimpse of the game at this point. So usually, because the project is in its most infant stages, they might not necessarily have had a lot in the game yet, but they might have a huge concept regarding some of their motion capture and some of their video effects in terms of maybe some cinematics that they would have done. Just something really short, just to give you a glimpse of this project still being in the making. So if you ask me what I'm looking forward to at Ubisoft Forward, pun intended, it's just these two announcements, possible Star Wars announcement and a possible Division game. And I used to call it Division 3. We've all called it Division 3 in this community. But I think that's something that, we're definitely looking forward to at some point. And I do know that Heartland might be a game that has its own place, but I don't think it's necessarily going to take away from this so-called Division experience that I'm probably, in a sense, referring to. And that's potentially anyways, because, these games can exist. If you think about, say, Call of Duty games and the way Call of Duty has actually dabbled into some of their free-to-play, strategies compared to their, full paid versions like Warzone. Warzone's free to play, right? Let me look it up. Call of Duty Warzone free to play. It's free to play, isn't it? Yeah, free to play experience. Okay. Yeah. That's what Warzone is. So Heartland is going to provide that, and Warzone seems to be that direction, but it doesn't stop the Modern Warfare and Black Ops experiences, at least, from coming out as fully priced games, even with their own parameters of PvE, small story mission, and PvP. So I also see this as a thing for Ubisoft Massive as well. But I've also stayed silent because I wanted to just wait till this point to see how they're going to go ahead and approach this, because to me, with all of the investment they've been making in time alone, just with Ubisoft Massive and their communication with the community, doing these PTSs, dropping seasons for the Division 2, and yes, I have Division 1 footage because it's kind of, in my opinion, a very nice piece of footage here at the Broadway Emporium. I just had to use it. It shows me that the time investment is, in a sense, worthwhile for them in bringing this community up to speed always. And shout out to the LCN clan. I've been super silent, but you guys know what I've been up to. It's for the best frame of mind. Some of you know exactly what I've been up to as well. And staying quiet at this time on the Division is also pretty good. But don't worry, I'm keeping an eye out. And I'll be very happy to jump on if our theories that we've been proposing for the past almost 3 years actually start making some surface, news out there. But I appreciate you guys so much for engaging in the content, staying dialed in. Some of you seem to be new to the channel because some of my old tutorial videos seem to be popping up on your feeds, and I've been seeing your comments. So welcome to the GamerDad channel. Been doing this Division thing for a bit now, but taking a hiatus and from time to time just looking in and enjoying, from the outside. I still like the Division. I'm a huge fan of it. And hopefully we'll be seeing very soon with some more important Division topics. Talk to you soon. Peace out.